Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Mics and Movies. And this edition is special not just because the clip is so incredible, but it also reveals an incredibly important tool to use in any public speaking situation. So let's watch.
Of America.
Mary Jackson, petition to attend courses at Hampton High School. Good morning, Your Honor.
Hampton High School is a white school, Mrs. Jackson.
Quick pause here. Notice her presence and her power. She's walking into a territory that is not necessarily friendly. In fact, it's the opposite of friendly. But instead of being meek, instead of being shy, instead of being reserved, instead of letting the environment influence her confidence, she stands true to herself. That's a really, really important point whenever you are speaking in public.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm aware of that.
Virginia, still a segregated state, regardless of what the federal government says, regardless of what the Supreme Court says, our law is the law.
Your Honor, if I may, I believe there are special circumstances to be considered.
What would warrant a colored woman attending a white school?
I want you to notice here that he is making it impossible for her to get what she wants. He is being incredibly upfront that regardless of what the Supreme Court says, our law is the law. It's going to take a monumental effort for her to persuade him otherwise.
May I approach your bench, sir?
Notice that she says, "May I approach the bench, sir?" She is trying to find proximity near him because she's trying to connect with him. That's key in what happens next.
Your Honor, you of all people should understand the importance of being first.
How's that, Mrs. Jackson?
Well, you were the first in your family to serve in the armed forces, U.S. Navy, the first to attend university, George Mason.
You, of all people, should understand the importance of what it means to be first. Such a critical element to any sort of persuasion tactic. I'm going to teach you this after the clip, but what she is appealing to is a commonplace idea. A commonplace idea helps unite even opposing figures, even opposing forces into a shared interest. Let's watch how she uses commonplace to appeal to his interests in order to persuade him to giving her what she desires.
Well, you were the first in your family to serve in the armed forces, U.S. Navy, the first to attend university, George Mason, and the first state judge to be recommissioned by 3 consecutive governors.
You've done some research.
Yes, sir.
What's the point?
The point is, Your Honor,
You've done some research. Yes, she has. And it's amazing. Another critical element of effective public speaking is doing your research on the audience that you are going to be speaking to. Not all audiences are the same. And so when you do your research and you appeal to what is important to them, to their experiences, you're actually opening up the possibility to be able to persuade
Your
them.
Honor, no Negro woman in the state of Virginia has ever attended an all-white high school. It's unheard of.
Yeah, unheard of.
And before Alan Shepard sat on top of a rocket, no other American had ever touched space. And now he will forever be remembered as the U.S. Navy man from New Hampshire, the first to touch the stars. And I, sir, I plan on being an engineer at NASA. But I can't do that without taking them classes at that all-white high school. And I can't change the color of my skin. So I have no choice but to be the first, which I can't do without you, sir. Your Honor, out of all the cases you're gonna hear today, which one is gonna matter 100 years from now? Which one is gonna make you the first?
Which one is going to make you the first? Again, notice she's not saying, give me what I want. She's appealing to his desires to be first. She is appealing to what's going to benefit him in her getting what she wants. That's a critical persuasion element, is when we're trying to persuade someone of something, it's not just about what we want, it's about what we can give to the other person.
Only the night classes, Mrs. Jackson.
Boom. She did it. She did it with confidence. She did it by appealing to what he wants. But most importantly, she did it by appealing to a commonplace idea. A commonplace idea is this, and please sit down because this definition is going to blow your mind, okay? A commonplace idea is an idea that appeals to a place that is common. I know, revolutionary the way that I defined it. Let me explain. I have two adorable little boys, and oftentimes we go to the mall just for fun. And we'll stop at the bookstore, we'll stop at the coffee shop, mainly for me. We will stop at the sports store, we will stop at the toy store, and we're going to stop at the video game store. Those are our common places. When we go to these places, we already have something in common with not just the people that go there, but the actual stores themselves. The stores themselves sell and promote products that we like and we enjoy. Now, there's other stores in the mall. There's stores for pottery, there's stores for women's clothing, there's stores for just about anything. And there's nothing wrong with pottery and there's nothing wrong with women's clothing. It's just not our thing. We don't have anything in common with those stores. When you speak to an audience without first identifying your commonplace idea, it's like walking into a store that you don't shop in. Or rather, it's the opposite. It's opening a store with products that nobody around you wants to buy. Her commonplace idea is the concept of being first. She wants to be first in something that is absolutely revolutionary. So in order to do that, she does her research and she identifies that this judge, this particular judge, also likes being the first. And that is key. Not just the concept of being first, but that commonplace idea. Whenever you are trying to persuade anyone of anything, the very first thing you have to find out is, what do you have in common so that you can use that element to their benefit, not just to your own. Naturally, when we persuade someone, we are persuading someone for our benefit. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But if we're only persuading someone for our benefit and not giving benefit in return, then you're not really persuading, you're manipulating and you're twisting people's arms into doing something that they may not necessarily want to do. Not only is this a great scene from a great movie, but it really establishes how a commonplace idea can persuade even the most impossible situations. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Mics and Movies. As always, make sure that you click subscribe and get notified to make sure that you're up to date on all content related to confidence, communication, and storytelling. Until next time, make sure that you speak up your story and get yourself off of mute.